SOT 12, where he says my role is to confer dignity on white conservatives. Let's play SOT 12.
And by the way, you are a token. Hey, Jason, you're a token. You are in conservative media as a black guy that can confer upon white people the dignity of not being called a racist for having their views. That's why you get paid. And that's why I don't, because I didn't have the privilege of being born black. I was born white, so there's a limit on what I can say. There's a limit on what I can say without being penalized in the so-called free marketplace of ideas. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows. And everybody's sick of it, especially in the conservative space, that blacks have had it easy. It is, and I don't doubt that he's a sincere person. I'm sure he's a sincere person. I'm sure he's genuine. But you are playing by a different set of rules, pal. You have training wheels on. You think you've earned it? Everything you have. Take a look around at your studio, your contract, your employees. If you said the stuff that you said as a white person, your ass would be fucking gone. And everybody knows that. You're on Blaze hosting E. Michael Jones talking about the Jews. It's a good fucking thing you're black, because if you weren't, you would have been fired like Elijah Schaffer.
I'm glad I remembered that clip, because there's a couple things going on here. There are, there's jealousy. There is some sort of belief that I'm immune to the consequences of my journalistic standards, of my approach to journalism. How dare you interview E. Michael Jones, and if you were white, you would have been fired, and he's comparing me to Elijah Schaffer. I've had Elijah Schaffer on this show years ago when he worked at the Blaze. And when you are 57, 56 at that time, or when you start here at age 52, 53, when you have put together, when God has put together for you the journalistic career that I've put together, and I'm sorry, that God has put together for me, and I say that in all sincerity, that the things that I accomplish as a journalist, and they're on record, there's no question about it, that God allowed me to be one of the best sports journalists, and this will be offensive to the people that hate me, but it's just reality, in American history. Accomplished some things, wrote stories that major national impact, time after time after time again, exposed truths that no one else was going to expose. And I'm in my 50s, and he's comparing me to a child who was at the beginning of his career in the media, and expects that a child in this profession should be treated like a decorated military veteran in this profession. Real Estate Agents I Trust connects you with top-performing real estate agents in your area. These aren't just any professionals. They're carefully vetted to ensure they're leaders in their field. They're experts who know the ins and outs of best practices, thrive in the wild housing market. Beyond their skills, they share our core values that me and you both believe in. Real Estate Agents I Trust, the name really does say it all. Visit realestateagentsitrust.com. That's realestateagentsitrust.com. That me and Elijah Schaffer should be treated the same. That's a level of privilege that they want that perhaps is irrational. And the assertion that, I've been given everything, oh boy, that's quite a stretch. But he can have that narrative. Doesn't bother. I don't want to remotely sound defensive about it. But the one thing I do want to answer to is like this thought that I'm here to confer dignity on white conservatives. I'm here to defend Christian values. I'm here to defend anyone that stands on Christian values. And I don't want Christian values demonized as racist. And so anybody that is standing on the truths, the historical account in this Bible, and stands on that truth firmly and points back to this Bible and his word and his ways. And I've watched the culture try to demonize people standing on this word and this truth. And they're trying to cleverly paint it as racist and only white conservatives do this or do that, or white evangelicals, or Uncle Tom black people. Yeah, I want to confer dignity to God's truth. And I don't want it smeared and promoted as racist or harmful for black people. And that's what they've been doing. Hey, if you follow the Bible, black people, that's going to harm you. And I am here to object to that. And I will defend anybody that I believe is following this Bible. And I will call out anybody that's pretending to follow the Bible while pointing people straight to hell. And so that's why I've had to, from time to time, pretty consistently on this show, like, hey man, this stuff going on in the pulpit in these black churches and all this racial idolatry and all this understanding of the world they're passing on to their congregants, that this is a battle of black versus white. That's why I call, hey man, that's not biblical. There's no way. We can go to Ephesians. We're one in Christ. We can go to the Bible and find no mention of race. And I know that y'all try to find, well, I think it's inferred in this and that. And I think if you understand when Paul called out Peter, that was really about race. I've heard it all. It's all hot garbage. It's not true. It's your understanding. And you shouldn't lean into your understanding. Because trust me, if we were in a battle of black versus white, one of them early chapters in the Old Testament, one of them early chapters in the New Testament would have been like, hey, let me tell y'all about this black versus white battle that's going to rule the world. Doesn't do that. People that want to lean into their own understanding pass along that understanding to justify the racial idolatry they use to build an audience. Louis Farrakhan did it and does it. Nick Fuentes did it and does it. Help us grow the Fearless Army. Pound that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with all your fearless friends.